Hey, welcome to Fussy Meeple. I'm Brandon, and of course, as you guys know, this is Bethany. I know it's been a while. The gap in videos and content altogether has been a fault of my own. New career changes with that have, with a little subtle hint right here, have happened. It's moved us down from Oklahoma to Texas. And fortunately, the move itself was easy enough, even though it was a 45-day notification type deal. But between that and now, there's been a lot of work that I've been doing, a lot of studying, learning, just going through, getting certified as a military training instructor. And now things are starting to level out. Still working 6 days a week, 10 hours a day on average, but it's at least not as crazy to where on my off time I'm constantly looking at the AFIs. I'm constantly looking everywhere to try to learn my job. I'm at that level of proficiency to where I can start doing more normal things in my, normal life.
Normal. You're not normal.
No. But we are back. We will be posting more videos here shortly. Whenever it comes to Kickstarters coming in, like Night Cage I have over here to my right. Unboxings of those. We have a few games coming in soon. Dice Throne, Stalker, Dragon Eclipse.
Yes.
I think those are the three that were most recently coming up. We just got Andromeda's Edge in the deluxe edition for that. Got Wondrous Creatures. What's some other Kickstarters we got in? We went to a couple of conventions this year. I'm vendoring my business at the next convention for, it's not 210Con, it's FlingCon.
And here in San Antonio.
For the winter FlingCon here in San Antonio, which brings me to introduce Fussy Meeple Creations. So I separated out the Instagram pages mainly because I want our Fussy Meeple Instagram page to be revolving more around board games and not necessarily the 3D printing world. Because while those two hobbies or lifestyles I've learned complement each other very well, not everybody's looking for that. Fussy Meeple Creations is an offshoot of Fussy Meeple, to where that is my business side of things. That is where I design and produce things like my dice container. It has the D20 logo that I had on my dice trays, which from my woodworking days, I made dice trays out of all different kinds of woods. And while the 3D printed versions don't look as beautiful as the wood grain would, these are still a great replacement. And because of how it's a lot less labor intensive, how the material's a lot cheaper, I can sell these for a lot cheaper as well. So not only am I making dice trays, organizers, and a few other items I'm designing are board game organizers. So like Night Cage just got the Shrieking Hollow expansion that came in. We've played the expansion a couple of times now, which for those of y'all who are wondering, it is a phenomenal expansion on top of an already fantastic game. The only thing I did not like was the organization. As you see, we have the wall of games behind us. Behind the camera, we have another wall of games. And in my office where I have my 3D print station, we have a mini wall of games. That's not including my Cthulhu shelf here filling up the closet. So with all that, I've been trying to downsize. As I started 3D printing, I was able to make the Great Wall All In fit in one box. I was able to knock down Night Cage Deluxe with the Shrieking Hollow down into one box. And there's been a few other games that I've been able to do. Rising Sun I have down into 2 boxes. I've also designed I designed a organizer for woodcraft. I was able to, with Night Cage, it was more of a, hey, be able to separate all the acrylic tiles by type. It wasn't necessarily a thematic organizer, while with Woodcraft, I was able to sit down and kind of make a theme to it, make the token holders be little saw blades, put a little lid with the name of the game on top of that, and once again, have it set up to where, as you're setting up the games, you can just take the player tray out, give it to the player, and then they have everything that they're supposed to start off with. But on top of that, so that'll be all of those videos will be pushing towards Fussy Meeple Creations on Instagram. On YouTube, I'm going to keep it all condensed onto just this channel, but I will have it, it'll be its own playlist category type deal. So if you're interested in just us unboxing the new Kickstarters, that's going to be a playlist. If you're interested in us reviewing or playing games, that's going to be a Kickstarter. We may be starting our Sunday lives again, because that is my one dedicated off day every week, excluding the first week of training. For the 53 knuckleheads I have to babysit for 7 weeks now. So that may be becoming a thing again, and each of these are going to have its own playlist to where you get to watch what you want to watch. And whenever it comes to the Instagram page, that's where I'll be diving deep into the, hey, what tools you may need, Creality versus Bamboo, which I went against the grain. I went the Creality route versus Bamboo. But this is us kind of explaining how we're back. Bethany is going to be doing an offshoot of videos going over, what was that again?
Solo play on a lot of our games.
Solo playthrough. She finally got herself into Final Girl.
Yes.
We're getting a few other games that have really good single player components. Castles of Burgundy has the Atama. Yes. What game just got bought? Stonemaier just purchased rights. Tokaido.
Tokaido, yeah, right. They did, and they're going to be making an Atoma.
Right, so Stonemaier acquired the rights to distribute and basically reinvent Tokaido. So what they're doing is they're keeping Tokaido how it is, and they're selling it themselves. And at first I was a little like, hey, this game's already been well established, it's already sold a lot of copies. Yeah. How are you going to make... Because at the end of the day, it's all business.
Right.
We do this because we love this. Jamie Stagmeyer, he does what he does because he loves it. But at the end of the day, it's still a business. So, looking at those decisions, and then the Atoma was announced. So we're going to be trying to make sure we get our hands on that game as soon as it comes out, where we can be, Bethany can be reviewing it, showcasing it.
He doesn't like to play games by himself.
Yes, I was about to say. She loves playing single-player games. To me, I don't like that. I like the player interactions. And as you watch some of our videos, like our previous ones, about, like, hey, our top 5 games. Some of the games I gear more towards because there's more player interaction than others. But with all that said and done, this is just kind of us coming back and saying, hey, we are back. We did miss y'all. We have been playing games. Oh, yeah. I finally won a round or 2 of Architects out of the 100 rounds we've played. Bethany's won a round or 2 of Battle Line out of the 100 rounds we played.
I'm queen of battle right now. I won the most recent game.
She won the most recent game, and then she decided, hey, it's a good time to stop.
It's a good time to stop.
Adult.
Well, I'm ahead.
Which I can't argue with that, but at the same time, I feel it was very conveniently placed after a few rounds back to back.
Yes.
So with that, these next 3 years, the video content we're gonna try to keep it going, but it's gonna be more sporadic. We're gonna try to get the solo series going whenever it comes to the 3D printing realm. Those are going to be more reels on Instagram or short videos on YouTube. I may do a long video of like why I chose, the brand I chose, why, what tools you should get, designing in Fusion 360. But a lot of, like, the designing Fusion 360 is already available all over YouTube. Mm-hmm. But there may be something I can bring to the table more on the side of like, hey, how to make it relate to the board game era. So if you are in the San Antonio area, make sure to come and say hi to us at FlingCon. We'll be there all 3 days. I'll be having my own vendor booth. I've already secured those tickets for both of us because she would not be able to be behind the table just chilling out with me without a vendor ticket. So I get the rules, and in all fairness, it's not like it was any extra on top of what it costs the same as what her ticket cost. So we'll be there. We'll be helping them set up and tear down as well, so you can come and say hi. And then we're going to be going to that. We're going to be going to 210Con. Depending on how the vendor goes at FlingCon, we'll decide if I try to become a vendor at 210Con. But at the end of the day, even if it is a little slow, I'm kind of expecting it being my first one. I've done vendor booths before. I did it at TokenCon I've not done. This is going to be my first vendor booth for a board game convention. Yeah. I've had my items sold whenever I ran my woodworking business at board game conventions through, like, your friendly local game stores would buy some of my product. And, like, for TokenCon, 2 years ago, I made out of a special type of wood the dice trays. It was a very beautiful zebra wood. So I had a very beautiful stripe pattern, and I like doing stuff like that. So I'm going to use this video to announce for 210Con. You see these two items I'm making. I'm going to be releasing new colors specifically for that convention. You can find my items on Etsy through Fussy Meeple Creations. I'm going to start posting to Facebook and maybe even Instagram if I can figure out how that works. I've never messed with that. But for these conventions, I will be releasing special edition colors. I will be releasing the ability to personalize some of these components. And once again, we are glad to be back.